Hey guys, my name is Amadea. I'm a digital artist using Procreate, and I am going to tell you today my experience of starting a YouTube channel for the first time and now the second time, and tell you the 3 biggest mistakes I made and how I'm correcting those mistakes now that I'm starting up for the second time. And hopefully you will be able to walk away with these actionable steps and apply it to your journey. So basically, I started a YouTube channel first time in 2020 when I started out with digital art. I was trying to follow in the footsteps of some big artists that I was following and saw that they all did YouTube. I heard that I have to be consistent, I have to have a brand, I have to do search engine optimization and, look up the topics that they do and basically recreate them. So I was trying to go down that route. And you find all this advice on the internet, but a couple things that I think are even more important than those things I'm gonna tell you about right now. So my first biggest mistake was that as starting out, I was overcomplicating it all and I was trying to be way perfect instead of making it realistic for creating videos for myself. So the camera I was using was a GoPro. I couldn't afford a better camera than that, and my GoPro was my highest quality camera. So I would figure out a way to be able to have a microphone with the GoPro. I got a microphone, I would literally, every time I would make a video, I would clean the house so that the background's perfect. I would put on makeup, I would, change clothes and then set up the camera. I didn't have a big tripod, just a small one, so I would set up like a whole stack of books for the camera to be staying on, and I would do an intro talk. You can go back and see all this, but it was just so complicated that it would literally take an entire day, just an entire Saturday pretty much, to just do a video and edit it. And that was not realistic for me because I was working a full-time job as an accountant at the time, and it completely drove me crazy to work 40-50 hour weeks, do my artwork after that in the evening, and then in the weekend I would just spend a whole day editing YouTube videos. So overcomplication is mistake number one. Setting up the whole background of the living room and having a tiny tripod, making a mountain of books to put the tripod on, and having a GoPro to set up with a microphone. And then even after that, I would have to transfer the files from my GoPro to my editing computer, which took forever. The GoPro would fill up, so I would have to empty it every single time. The memory card wasn't big enough because I didn't have a budget. So it was a whole bunch of complications that just didn't allow me to create more freely, and I started dreading the process after a while because of how complicated it would be to just make a simple video. Get a camera that is easy to set up. I'm using my phone right now, so if you have an iPhone that from 2022 or later, you should be fine. And I have a ring light and it's a big tripod, so it's super easy to just set up. And I have a designated space for my art now, which, I know not everyone can have, but it's a nice background. Don't have to go crazy setting it up. I have a window here. Yay. No, not perfect by any means, but it's so much easier to just sit down and talk than, So that was my first mistake, and the way I'm correcting it right now is I am having a little bit of a designated space for videos. I know not everyone can do that, but it's a super simple table, a plant, and then some pictures on the wall. So make sure you go next to a window. I got lucky with that. And then also I have a big tripod that I'm filming with right now that has a ring light on top. I will show you these later. And then I just put my phone on it. So I literally am like, oh, I have makeup on right now. I can just sit down and do a talking video. And that's another thing that so many people overcomplicate, is trying to make a super elaborate vlog or video, which is super amazing if you have time for that. But YouTube actually is super good platform for just kind of podcast type video content where you talk like I am right now, so people can put in the background and also see you, kind of connect with you that way. It's so amazing for that. So don't overcomplicate the topic or the equipment or even the SEO, just make the content and then you will learn along the way, especially if you're just starting out. So that was my first mistake, and that's how I'm correcting it right now. My second mistake was that I was unrealistic with how much time I have with what the kind of content I was aspiring to make. So I looked up to all these amazing YouTubers, you know, Roz Draws, Ergo Josh, Ethan Becker, just amazing YouTubers who make lots of tutorials and they know what they're talking about. And it's really entertaining to watch them, you know, because they have this whole personality. And I try to make these elaborate videos too. I would have an intro and then I would film myself draw. And to be able to film myself draw, I would have like a cutting board under my iPad because my desk was so dirty and like see-through. It wouldn't have been a nice backdrop. So the cutting board was kind of like the nice wooden color that my desk is right now. And I would just be unrealistic about how much time I had because I was working a 40-hour job during the week, 40, 50 hours sometimes. And then in the weekend, I would have to, you know, have family obligations, friends. And here I am aspiring to create a video that takes like a whole day to edit, a whole Saturday, a whole Sunday. And it would stress me out so much because that was just unrealistic. So mistake number 2, I was super unrealistic with my expectations. And the way I corrected it now is obviously I'm doing art full time. So I kind of gave myself some space. That was the 1.5 years I didn't do YouTube to get to the point where I can do art full time so that I have more time during the week. Even like this, I take commissions and I run my shop. So it's not like I have so much time to create videos, but it's so much more realistic to have an expectation to put out a video each week. So just be kind to yourself and ask yourself the question, you know, how much time do I have this week? I want to be consistent with YouTube, but a video a week that's super elaborate maybe doesn't make sense for you right now if you have a full-time job or if you're not at that stage yet where you can edit throughout the week and just sit down to film a video whenever you have an idea pop into your head. And I am fortunate enough that I'm there right now, but you know, even with my setup, the way I corrected this is I was looking for a new desk when we moved here, and I was like, I knew that I want the desktop to be this light wood color because it's gonna be a backdrop for my art. So it's just such a process throughout the years. Be patient with yourself and don't expect as much, as that's not realistic because you're gonna stress yourself out and drive yourself crazy. And like I said, talking videos are just such an amazing way to connect with your audience. So just make a little spot for yourself where you can film yourself talk for 30 minutes once a week and then make that your video and start it that way. And then, you know, build it up to this spot where you can do more. And it definitely works so much better now to expect myself to make a video a week when I actually have space for it in my schedule. The third mistake I made a 1.5 years ago is I wasn't willing to adjust. I just burned myself out and stopped doing YouTube, which I wish I didn't do, but I understand myself completely because, you know, doing so much editing and setup and craziness around the house weekly for like 6 months or so, it burns you out like crazy, and you don't realize this in the beginning. You just want to go all in, but I promise you, you'll be better off starting slow and being consistent with what is realistic for you. So basically, my mistake that I didn't adjust, what I would have done if I could do this all over, after 6 months feeling super burned out of YouTube and feeling like this is not realistic and not maintainable, I should have thought of, okay, then how can I adjust where I don't completely abandon YouTube and make it maintainable for myself? And what I should have said is, okay, I'm just gonna buy a bigger tripod and stop using my GoPro. I'm just gonna use my phone, even though my phone at the time wasn't doing that great of a videos. And I'm just gonna pick a couch. The only place to sit down was our living room. So I'm just gonna sit on the couch, no matter the background, and I'm just gonna record myself talking for 15-20 minutes about inspiring topics and things that I'm going through to film the process. And then on my phone, I will edit it down, upload it to YouTube once a week, couple hours, done. This is what's realistic for me right now. And I should have kept going because YouTube is so big on consistency, and obviously you want to make sure that your stats, your impressions, click-through rates and all those things are at the right rates. But the content is so not based on trying to be perfect and having everything right. It's based on putting yourself out there, I mean, the success is not based on those things. It's based on you putting yourself out there and being consistent and believing in yourself, and then other people will believe in you too. So that is basically what I've been adjusting to this second time of starting my channel. Even if I didn't have time to film a vlog during the week, or if I don't have some amazing thought out tutorial, I just maybe talk to my friends about what they struggle with on Instagram, or keep an eye out for tutorials that other people post, even if it's a short reel on Instagram, or if it's a TikTok. I just want to find a topic, and if that week I didn't have time to prepare a video, I just pull out my topic that I found and my notes, like keep a notes with topics in there, and then I talk about it for you guys. So that is basically what I learned and how I do it now that I'm starting up the second time. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's still hard because managing your time is challenging, and so have grace with yourself and be patient. And even though it seems like all the people out there just became successful super fast, but remember, that's the people that is in front of you that you see, and you're not alone in the struggle of trying to grow and be an artist. There's so many of us like that out there, and we should stick together and support each other. So I would love for you to leave a comment if you're in this boat, you're starting a channel, or you're starting up the second time, or you're contemplating starting the second time, and just leave a little comment. It can be a couple words, because I would love to connect with you and build this community where we build each other up and support each other. And it would be just my biggest honor to be your friend on Instagram too. I'm not saying you have to follow me. I'm just saying it's so hard to find artists that are in the same boat as we are. In real life, there are no artists around me that are my real life friends that are doing the exact same thing I do. And even, doing digital art or doing YouTube, having an Etsy shop is not uncommon on the internet. In the scheme of people in your life, real life, on that scale, it's so rare. So let's connect and be friends. And on that note, if you want to subscribe, then please let me know what other videos you want to see from me, because I want to make sure that the content I create is things that you guys who subscribe are interested in. So definitely let me know. And if you don't want to boost the video with a comment, then you can also just shoot me an email or message me on Instagram, no matter how you want to do it. I just want to connect with you all. Okay, that was crazy. All right, guys, that's all for today. Bye.